It's New Year's Minecraft Origins Explains. The first Origin Explains of 2023. Today we've got the Soul Wisp Origin from the user known as 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼 or 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼. As always, you can download these from the Origins Discord server, and I've also now made a video on my second channel discussing how you actually find these Origins and install them on your world. But let's get into the Origin. The Soul Wisp Origin is a 3-impact Origin. These fiery remnants of ages past are the lingering will of those fell within the Nether. They share a tight lifeline with the Soulfire, their corporeal form born and reborn by these mystic flames. Let's get into the abilities. First, you have Wisp form. You can disperse your flames to become faster and slowly slip through the cracks of the walls and the ground. Phasing exhausts you, however. Now, additional piece of information to start off with this ability is whenever you do use it, you'll go from having 10 total hearts to having 5, effectively halving the amount of health that you have whenever you're in this mode. So be very careful. Now, whilst in this mode, you are not visible to other mobs, but if they've seen you before you went to this mode, then they will still continue to target you after you switch to this mode. So again, big thing to keep in mind there, you got half the health, and whilst mobs won't see you normally, if you go to your normal phase and then go back, or you let's say bump into a zombie, they will catch you and then they'll start attacking you. And when it comes to the exhaustion, it really decreases at an extremely fast rate. Like I think in a few seconds of just sprinting through the walls in this mode, you lost about like 3 or 4 rugs of hunger, which is a lot. And then another additional thing, if you do go back to your normal mode whilst phasing through the walls, you will start to suffocate to death. It will automatically top your health back up to 10 hearts as well if you go back to normal modes, unless you've taken a lot of damage already. Pyrobound, the bond you share with Soulfire allows you to bind your soul to a soul campfire, allowing you to return to it once at any time. This is an ability that I can't really make too much sense of, as I can't really figure out how it properly works. I've done the whole walk up to the campfire, press your secondary ability key, and you get this little bar light up fully. Then I move away and then press it again, and it does nothing. The bar disappears, but it does nothing. It does exactly what would happen if you were to just hold shift and then press that button. So I ultimately don't know if this ability is working as intended. I did try to go back to 1.18 as well, and it doesn't exactly seem to work as intended there. Maybe I'm just dumb. Tether, holding Soulfire items or standing near a soul campfire comforts you, giving you effects depending on the item. This works with both torches, lanterns, and of course the campfires. Going to the individual things, holding a soul torch in your offhand will ward off both poison and bad luck, meaning that you could not have to worry about poison whenever it gets thrown you by a witch or maybe by other things that you may get poisoned from, as well as bad luck doesn't affect you, though it's not really that massive of a thing in Minecraft anyway. With a soul lantern in your offhand, you'll gain resistance, which is a pretty useful thing, but this will not function when it's in your main hand, but it will nullify the other disadvantages that happen when you're not near anything soul related. And then a soul campfire, when placed out, will actually give you both regeneration and saturation boost, which means that not only will your health regenerate, you also get hunger regeneration, which is super useful. And hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. I cover Origins for most of my content. I've got some cool ideas that will be happening sometime throughout this year. So yeah, also make sure to leave a like. Let's get back into the video. Dependence. Your tether in the second life is bound to Soulfire. Without any, be it held or near you, you cannot maintain your tether to this realm and you'll thus wither away and decay. Basically, lore jargon for if you don't have Soulfire in your hand or you're not near any form of Soulfire based item, you'll start taking weakness 3, hunger 3, as well as wither based damage, and it will slowly kill you over time, pretty slowly. It's not amazingly quick, but it's definitely something to go, hey, get near something. Soul strides. Being a natural soul, you're unburdened by soul sand. Soul speed enchantments are now active on normal land. Part of his ability doesn't particularly matter too much. The whole your natural speed is unburdened by soul sand ultimately doesn't really change too much, because when you try sprint jumping around, it's going to naturally decrease your speed anyway, so But the second half of this is really powerful because soul speed is effective on any block regardless of what it is, meaning you can go super fast, not just on soul sand, but on every normal block of land, which is pretty powerful if I'm going to be completely honest here. Hypothermia. Unless you're properly warmed up with leather or a campfire, your flames cannot handle cold biomes as you grow weaker in them. Whenever you're in a cold biome without wearing a leather chestplate or near a campfire, you'll have weakness, slowness, mining fatigue, and hunger all on top of each other. Pretty brutal to be completely honest, but at least with a simple leather chestplate or a campfire of some sorts, you can easily knock all these abilities away and be perfect perfectly fine out in those cold biomes. Hydrophobia, you receive damage over time whilst in contact with water. This ability just makes sense, considering you're meant to be some form of soul fire. Water will most likely put you out, and if cold biomes are going to be painful towards you if you're not in the right setting and clothes and or near fire, then typically water is going to be very painful. In a fire, being made of flames, normally edible food will fall right through you. However, you can feed yourself off of fire and dried kelp. First off, kelp is severely boosted when it comes to you eating it. You'll get a lot more hunger out of it than usual, but I think the biggest take back that I've gotten from this is it's very difficult to actually decrease the saturation on this character overall, especially with how much you potentially gain from sitting near a campfire for an extended period of time, as I literally spent several minutes sitting in water, taking a lot of damage, hopping back out, healing back up, and then going back in there, and I just never dropped down saturation wise whatsoever. Fire starter. By using your own flames, you can craft a stick into a soul torch. You also get a torch on respawn. So whilst this origin may make it difficult for you by making it so that you can pretty much die if you don't have any form of soul flame based item on you, the origin will be nice enough to at least give you a soul torch to start off with, so you're not exactly in a situation of near death, as well as you can easily craft a massive amount of torches extraordinarily fast by using simply sticks, which I believe may become a little bit broken to some people. It's a very interesting ability. I'm fine with it. Just having a massive amount of soul torches is a pretty funny thing anyway. Bed paranoia. After living in the Nether for so long, you should think any bed could explode while sleeping, so you simply refuse to, but spawn still registers. So no, you can't use beds whatsoever, and unlike what it says in the ability, it does not register the spawn, so if you do die, you'll go right back to the Nether anyway. Speaking of which, Nether rebirth. Soul valleys are where the souls come back to life. Therefore, anytime you die, you'll respawn not only in the Nether, but in a soul sand valley overall, which can be a pretty useful thing because it does get rid of some of the more annoying issues that come with spawning in the Nether. Let's say spawning in weird pockets of airs or in the middle of a Nether wasteland where there's just a bunch of nothingness. At least you spawn where something useful. Still not great though. This origin is a lot more unique to a lot of the other Nether-based origins that I've come across, whether they be more themed after other characters or whether it just be themed after a Blaze-spawn, Wither, or various other Nether-based mobs that are spawned in the Nether. This Soul Wisp origin is honestly pretty cool, going off of some cool little abilities to do, particularly with Soulfire, making those items a little bit more useful. As certain abilities might become a little bit overpowered, for example, being able to craft legitimately infinite torches if you have enough sticks to do so, could be something you may consider to be a little bit too unvanilla enough or too far in that direction, but ultimately it can just be something that you can ignore entirely and not worry too much about. Overall, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button down below and let me know in the comments down below what are your thoughts on this origin, and also click this video on screen now to watch more Origins content. Bye bye!